Hello, cuties. Welcome back to my channel. It's a second video today. I'm pretty sure I came on earlier today. And I think I'm going to skip the intro for this video. I'm just feeling really good right now and really inspired to talk about these two topics and how they I don't know if they necessarily correlate with one another, but it's something that I definitely feel really passionate talking about right now. So I know I've talked about this on my channel before, but I'm just going to reiterate the importance of focusing on yourself and how that relates to creating the things that you desire. Okay. Because when you are in undesirable situations or undesirable circumstances in your life, there is a natural affinity to feel stuck and to redo the same things over and over and over and over and over again without even really seeing yourself or seeing the approach that you're taking. And if you really want to turn things around in your life, you're going to need to become very aware of what you're doing each day and start to change how you're operating, integrate new routines into your life, stabilize your nervous system, build your beliefs, form a new awareness, and persist in that knowing. But I want to come at this from another scope as to why it is really, really important to focus on yourself and to adjust the approach that you're taking when it comes to creating the changes you want in your life. Okay. You guys have heard me talk about this on my channel before, but I'm going to reiterate it one more time for you. Okay. You can do anything with your day. Sitting here spiraling every single day on how things are not working for you, what your person could be doing, what they're not doing, all the things that are going wrong in your life is only going to keep you where you are. Now, I understand there's an aspect of this that, yes, as you integrate beliefs, you're going to be feeling better, you're going to form a new awareness of your reality, and you're going to be able to view your reality in a new way. But you also need to be very, very conscious of how you're spending your time as well, too, because there are so many things that you could be doing with your day that are going to help you feel better. And that needs to be a number one priority as well, too, because the better you feel with yourself, the more confident you feel with yourself, the more proud you feel of yourself, the more that you can do things that help you, again, feel better with yourself. When you look in the mirror and you can really clearly see that you've been taking care of yourself, that is going to help you view yourself in a new way, which in turn is going to change how people view you as well too. So when I have wanted to change things in my life very quickly, I have integrated routines, and you guys have heard me talk about this on my channel before, where I'm making sure I'm listening to music that really uplifts my mood. I'm putting a routine to my day, working out, making sure I'm eating healthy, making sure I'm getting enough sleep, making sure that I'm drinking enough water, all the basic self-care things. But these are the things that you're going to typically overlook when you are in a spiraling state of being, because you have a natural affinity to want to think about the undesirable thing or the situation that is at play and how it's bothering you. And the way you're going to turn it around is by reinforcing yourself, remembering who the fuck you were before all this stuff unfolded, and getting back to that confident, loving version of yourself that is happy with your life. Okay. That is very, 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 very important. And anytime your mind wants to go and focus on the circumstances or things that are going on, if you're addressing your beliefs, if you're sleeping with the belief tracker on, you're doing some breath work, you're doing short little meditations each day to reaffirm your beliefs, then the next best thing to do is also to prioritize activities that just help you feel good, that help you feel beautiful, that help you feel loved within yourself. And this is not just a typical, oh, you need to love yourself type of advice. You need to be able to maintain your own stability within yourself, regardless of whatever is showing up in your life. When you can create a routine for yourself that feels good for you, that you know is going to uplift your mood, that's going to make you feel better, that's going to make you feel confident within yourself, that is something that you can ground yourself in no matter what's going on. That is going to allow for you to view things differently in your life and persist in a knowing about how things are going to show up for you. It also really helps you feel grounded in your self-worth and in your self-value. I just posted something on my Twitter like a little bit ago where I was talking about like beauty routine on point, staying fit and active, constantly learning, constantly growing, always taking care of myself, getting enough sleep, staying hydrated. Somebody posted a comment on my channel today, or maybe it was on my Instagram, asking me, how do I level up in my life? And really how I level up in my life is to focus on the things within my immediate reality that I can do in this moment that make me feel good, that make me feel proud of myself, for myself, not to impress anybody, not to gain anything, not to win anybody's approval, but purely just for me because I deserve to show up for myself that way. This is really important for creating the results that you desire in your life, because if you're constantly doing everything for everybody else, you have no sense of self, you're constantly focusing on what's going on around you, you really do lose your confidence. You really forget who you are, and you really, will find yourself in a needy space or a desperate space, reaching for things to feel better. Okay. So focusing on you outside of just sleeping with beliefs on and doing breath work and making sure that you're upkeeping your mindset is very, very necessary, at least in my opinion, to really take you to the other side, because it's going to be where you really find your sense of self and you become really, really grounded in how amazing you are and how much you take care of yourself. And that in turn is going to show other people how they need to take care of you, or how they need to show up for you based on how you are treating yourself. Okay. The other thing that I wanted to talk about in this video, before I end on that note, that can look any way for you. Okay. So it doesn't need to necessarily be like you have to, do anything specific, or you have to look a specific way. These are just certain activities. Whatever you want to do with your day that helps you feel good and proud of yourself is going to work. For me personally, I just love working out. I love eating healthy. I love when I get enough sleep. I like meditating. I like filling my day with those types of self-growth activities, reading, hanging out with people, getting, conversing, and all these types of things where it's kind of like a mixture of taking care of myself and also enjoying my social life at the same time. But diversifying your time that way is going to really allow for you also to drop the focus on the undesirable things in your life and to generally get back into a good feeling space within yourself. And I find that to be something that is so, so, so important, because how you spend your time is important. If you're worrying all day long and you're battling intrusive thoughts all day long, then you really need to look and see, am I just sitting around each day? Am I giving myself the time to dwell in anxiety and fear and obsession? Okay, well, what else can I do with my time that just helps me feel better and helps me feel proud of myself? And integrating those types of things into your daily routine are going to really help you drop the focus on those circumstances, really ingrain these beliefs, and then know what it is that you desire to experience into being in a very sustainable way. Also, in terms of sustainability, again, when you create this routine within yourself, anytime anything undesirable pops up, you can ground yourself in that routine that you have for yourself, take the focus off of it, not stress over it, not react to it heavily, and really get back to feeling good within yourself so that you can think clearly about what you want to create and experience for your life and know that into being. Okay. So there's a lot of benefits to focusing on yourself and creating a routine for yourself that you can ground yourself in, outside of just feeling proud and happy with yourself and prioritizing things that help you feel good. Okay. But I will say too, if that routine helps you feel better, look better, gain more confidence, I find that as a huge plus as well too, because think about it. Like, I could either spend my time sitting here worried and anxious and sad and upset at the things that are going on in my life, or I can spend my time getting hotter, getting healthier, getting happier, becoming more abundant, growing. Like, which approach is actually going to help me feel better and also align me with what I want to experience? And that's where you just have to be honest with yourself and be like, okay, no, fuck that. Maybe I don't like what's going on, but I know that's going to change, and I'm going to organize myself this way. That has helped me so much. Okay. Now let's talk about before commitment materializes. This is just kind of a little random topic that I wanted to talk about on my channel. I see a lot of people that talk about third parties on my channel, or things that are going on in their relationship that are undesirable. And one of the biggest things, this is kind of like a specific approach for this, so this may not resonate with everybody, but one thing that I will see common for some people is before the commitment even materializes, you see yourself in a relationship with this person, but not in a way that is knowing, like not in a sustainable way, meaning you have to know it's going in that direction. But if you don't have the commitment right now, there is no third party. The person hasn't been using you. They haven't been like, they technically, if that commitment is not there, and you can like this, you cannot like this, it is what it is. If you have not manifested the commitment with this person, then they can talk to whoever they want to talk to. They can do whatever they want to do. They can talk to however many people that they want. Okay. And you have to realize, in order to create the result that you desire, the more that you are bothered with that, the more you want to force them into something, the more you are insecure about that, the more that you want to make this commitment occur. Not only is that going to materialize in how you're interacting with them and how they show up for you and how you proceed forward with them. But that really is going to get in the way of you being able to create the things that you desire. Okay. When you are in that transition period of materializing the commitment that you want, what your person is doing does not matter. There is no third party. There is nothing that they're doing to you objectively because you don't have the commitment. You are going to know it into being, but I have never, in my experience, when I want a commitment with somebody and I don't have it, I have never viewed who they could be talking to or what they could be doing in their free time or anybody that they could also be talking to or dating as a problem, as a threat, or something that's going to get in the way. I never characterized it as a third party and I never viewed it as a problem. Okay, because I didn't care enough to pay attention that much. I wasn't watching them and trying to figure out every single thing that they were doing and whether or not they were actually going to commit to me. I just knew it. I knew that the commitment was going to materialize, and I knew those things, if there were other people, would not be a problem. Okay, so that really does require that mindset of knowing it into being. I understand if you are kind of in that in between phase where you haven't materialized the commitment yet, it's really easy to perceive like, oh, but you told me you liked me here this day, but you're doing these things over here. Yes, they like you. You're going to need to know that into being and not feel threatened or jealous or insecure about anything. Because if you really want to take it to the other side, it doesn't really, does it really? Okay. Yes, it matters what they say, and you deserve somebody to show up and love you and be consistent with you. But in that transition period, when you are in the dating phases, people are typically dating to multiple people, and that's not anything personal. Okay. And the more that you can feel confident with yourself and know, yeah, you know what, you totally do like me. And I'm not going to really worry about when you text me or when you don't talk to me because I could date other people as well too. If I want to, I don't have to. However, I am going to know that you totally like me, you totally want to be with me, and it's going in that direction. And I don't need to force or manipulate this. I know every time we hang out together, it gets better and better. And I know that you definitely find me to be the most interesting and that you actually do want to be with me. So no matter what you're doing, I'm not going to waste my time paying attention to that because I'm going to continue to do the things that make me feel good with myself, which is why I think I put these two topics together. I'm going to keep myself grounded in this really amazing routine that helps me feel attractive, feel good within myself, and operate in a way where I'm not getting negatively attached or worried or doubtful or fearful or insecure. Also, I'm not going to view anything as a threat because I know if I even approach this before I have the commitment, if I am worried that you're going to lose interest in me, if I'm getting insecure, or if I'm on you with a microscope trying to figure out every single thing that you're doing, I know that is not going to create the results that I desire. So there has to be a part of you that gains a grasp on your consciousness and realizes if you want to materialize this commitment, you're going to know it into being. You're not going to force it. You're not going to chase it. You're not going to be desperate for it. You're not going to try and make it happen. You are going to continue to be you, the amazing you that they actually really like. You're going to ground yourself in your routines. You're going to get a grasp on your mindset. You're not going to spiral. You're not going to get insecure, and you're going to fucking know that shit into being. Okay. Because if you can really do that, you're going to be able to create the results that you desire. Okay. Again, I think some things that I see for people before the commitment materializes is because they already feel and believe that they're in the relationship. They start to project expectations and watch this person as though they are in the relationship with them. And then they start getting jealous and viewing people as third parties and viewing people as threats. And the moment you start doing that, you are going to change how you're showing up. You're going to change how things materialize in for you, and you're going to get in your own way. You're not in the relationship with them yet. If that's where you are, you can materialize it, but you're going to know it into being, and you're not going to focus on who they could be talking to or what they could be doing or worrying about if they're losing interest in you or talking to other people if they're being inconsistent with you. Get grounded within yourself and feeling good within yourself and happy with yourself and continuing to be the version of you that was happy before they showed up is going to be happy if they're in your life, or if they're not in your life, continue to be the version of you that feels good with you. And if you really like this person, know it into being. Know that, yes, it's going in that direction. Know that I don't need to force this. I know you're interested in me. I know you love talking to me. I know you want to be in my life. I don't need to figure out every single thing that you're doing. I'm going to continue to enjoy this experience, knowing it's going to go in that direction by continuing to just be me, the version of me that you find attractive, that actually doesn't give a fuck about those things. And if you can really take that relaxed approach where you don't allow your mind to give into insecurities, doubts, fears, viewing people as threats, wanting to force and manipulate, wanting to ask them, when am I going to see you again? When are we going to see each other again? When's this going to happen? If you can know it and continue to prioritize yourself, again, by focusing on you and creating that good routine and building up your beliefs and building up your self-value and your self-worth, you're going to be able to materialize the commitment. Okay. I was talking with a client earlier today, this kind of like mirrors back on this topic. Um, I was kind of relating it to their job. Okay. So like, let's say you're doing a job and you set a deadline for that job. Okay. And you're going to do the job really, really well. But then somebody keeps emailing you like, hey, can you make sure that you get it done by this day? Can you make sure you get it done by this day? Are you still working on the project? And you are working on the project or you're doing the job. Every single time you get that email, you get annoyed. You almost don't want to do the project because you can tell that the person isn't trusting that you're going to complete the work or whatever it may be. Okay. This is the same kind of thing that occurs where it's not even anything to be upset over. Okay. When this dynamic starts to form where you're not feeling like the commitment is going to materialize and you want to check and you want to follow up and do all these things, when somebody starts changing how they're showing up based on whatever's changed in your mindset, it's really just a byproduct of how you're operating. And if you can take the awareness on yourself to realize, have I been operating in a way where I'm trying to force and manipulate this, or I'm feeling insecure, or I'm chasing, or I'm feeling like I'm coming off desperate? Does it make sense why then I'm getting these results that are not desirable? I find myself, if I'm worried about third parties and all these things, does it make sense why maybe it's becoming difficult for it to materialize that commitment? If you can take that awareness within yourself and realize, well, if somebody was doing this to me, it wouldn't be that attractive as well either. That is why knowing it into being is really important, because a huge component to a relationship is trust. I'm trusting that you want to commit to me. I'm trusting that it's going in this direction. I trust that so much. And because I trust that and I'm solid within myself and I know my worth, my value, and I have a good routine going for myself where I'm taking care of myself, you will see that it goes in that direction. But the more you want to check, the more you want to force, the more you view people as threats, as third parties. And again, most of the time, there's not a third party. If you don't have the commitment yet, there's not a third party. Okay. You don't have the relationship. So you have to really realize, if I want to create this result, I'm going to know it into being. Now that I want to create this result, how am I going to organize myself in a fashion to build myself up, to feel good each day, to focus on myself, to spend my time in a way that feels good for me so that I can actually do that in a sustainable way? And that is how those two topics connect. Okay. So that's why I wanted to talk about focusing on you and then before the commitment materializes, because they do really actually go hand in hand with one another. Okay. All right. That's all I have to say for tonight. You can change a situation at any point if you want to. So if you've taken an approach that you're not that proud of, also being in your feelings is not a bad thing either. Like, I will see people be, I think it's so funny. Like, the things that I see online are just hilarious to me, where people are like, oh my God, I'm getting in my feelings. That's a bad thing. Like, no, it's actually not a bad thing. How about we normalize love? We normalize the idea that I get the commitment that I deserve, that anybody that I'm interested in is interested in me, and having feelings isn't a bad thing. It's actually a mutual exchange, and I'm always able to create the relationship that I desire. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is, with all of these topics combined, okay, you can change your approach at any time, okay? And if you're not proud of how you've shown up or how you've operated or the things that you've done in the past, whatever it may be, it doesn't matter, you guys. It's a brand new moment. Be forgiving with yourself, okay? And the biggest thing that has helped me in my journey is just applying, like being graceful with myself and saying, well, okay, I'm going to take the L. I'm not going to dwell on it. If I've shown up in a way that wasn't that great, that kind of sucks, but that doesn't mean that things can't change. So how can I organize myself in a fashion now to move forward, feeling the best, having the best mindset, and prioritizing myself, and with confidence, knowing that I'm going to be able to achieve and create what I desire? And if you can really take that approach, you're going to be able to turn things around. Okay. So be graceful, be forgiving with yourself. Don't fear your thoughts. Again, not every single negative thought do you have to worry about. It's the consistent ones that you really want to ask yourself. Like I was talking about in today's earlier video, what are the consistent thoughts that I'm having that are an issue? Okay. And that's where you want to bring it down to the beliefs. What do I need to reaffirm about my self-belief that can allow for me to know this commitment's going to go in the direction that I desire? This relationship's going to go in the direction that I desire. Do I feel confident with my ability to create that relationship? Do I feel confident in my worth, my value? Do I know that I'm always able to create the results that I desire? Do I view love as a consistent thing in my life? Do I trust men? Do I trust women? Do I trust relationships? Do I have positive assumptions? Like, how can I organize my mindset and my belief system so that I can drop any sort of negative thoughts or behaviors that are not working towards what I actually want to create? And if you can really keep bringing yourself back to that, you're going to be able to adjust yourself. Okay. All right. I love you all so much. I hope you have a beautiful night, and I will see you all later. Thank you for being here. Bye.